When you want to begin using the Numeracy Screen or Data Hub, you will first need to add your classes. To do so, you will click on this addition symbol next to My Classes. When you do that, you will be prompted to enter a class name and to select a grade level. Once you have done that, you will see your class appear on the left-hand side, and the next step will then be to add your students to this class. You can do this in one of two ways. You can import your student roster from an Excel sheet. If you want to take this route, you will need to make sure that the first column of an Excel sheet has the students' names listed. Note that the first row can be called name because it will be ignored. You will then click Import Excel once you have chosen that file, and your students will be populated in your class. The other option is to add a student. So we can add individual students by typing in their names and clicking Add. Once you have added your students, you will then need to enter the scores from the numeracy screener. To do so, you will see a score button across from the student's name on the right-hand side of your screen. We're going to click Score, and within here now we can enter the scores for that student. This being test data, of course, I'm just entering 5s. You will enter the correct data from the scoring sheet itself. Once I save those scores, I will see the student will receive a classification for the fall administration window, and I can access an individual report on that student. The next time I go to score this student for the winter and fall, or the winter and spring, you'll see there is a drop-down menu at the top of the scoring window where I will select the next administration window, and then I can enter the new student scores. I'll use 10s this time around, unless the max is 8, of course. And we'll go with another 10 here. And 2 more 10s here. And I'll save those. And again, you'll see that now I have a score for the student for the winter administration, which once again has been added to my student report. Should I want to remove a student from a class, I can click that trash icon here, which will prompt me and ask me if I want to remove this student. If I do, I will click OK. If I click that button by mistake, I just hit cancel and nothing happens. Same thing is true for your classes. If you wish to delete a class because you've added one by mistake, you can click the trash icon. Once again, you will be prompted and asked if you really want to delete that class. If the answer is yes, you'll click OK. If, again, you've done it by mistake, you hit cancel. Once you've scored all your students within a class, you can then look at your class report. Your class report will list each student and the scores they attained on the screener, as well as classifying them by total score and by tier. Should you want to dig a little deeper and look at the risk analysis for planning strategic groups or looking at interventions for students in your class, you will click on the Risk Analysis tab, and this will give you a list of your students with your identified risk areas for each student. This information can then be used for selective groupings, intervention plans, or universal instruction to address the risks you have identified within your group.